Thank you for joining me here today and sharing in this quantum leap in human thinking. Gnosis is the Greek for know thyself, knowledge. Know thyself said by the oracle at Delphi, who was always a female prophet in ancient Greece, sought after across the land by famous people such as Alexander the Great. Now, for this talk, I need to tell you a little bit about my background. I've been a physician, a doctor of 25 years, and I'm a specialist in integrative or holistic health. As such, in my view, the last quantum leap in thinking was as the discovery of our bodies, the knowledge of ourselves, the gnosis of our anatomy, our cellular structure, our skeleton. The discovery of bacteriums and viruses, antibiotics, discovered 70 years ago. Babies no longer dying at birth. Life expectancy increased from 55 to 75. This is a huge societal change involving knowledge of ourselves. So, please join me. Join me in the next quantum leap in human evolution, which is in knowing ourselves as beings of light. Now, as a doctor, I'm fairly grounded in science. So I'm going to teach you two things today. Firstly, the science behind us as beings of light. Secondly, how to use this knowledge to make yourselves feel better, of course. Now, we all know through photosynthesis that the electromagnetic energy of the sun is converted into chemical energy in plants. This is our fuel as human beings. All our energy comes from the food we eat, and indirectly it is from the sun. Physicists would tell us that we're made up of shimmering particles of light, fluctuating in and out of existence. Just like we watch a computer screen or TV screen, we think these are solid, but in fact they're photons and pinpricks of light. What we think sometimes isn't that accurate. Right now, for instance, I think I'm standing still. Very still. In fact, I'm on a planet that's going at 18 miles per second around the sun. So sometimes what we think isn't exactly accurate. Now, light and the light spectrum involves gamma rays, it involves X-rays, ultraviolet rays, and we're right in the center of that light spectrum in the color range. We swim in this world of color. We wear it, we eat it, and we see it. We're so embedded in color. Very recently, we've discovered that all the enzymes in our body are triggered by messages of light. There are 100,000 enzymatic changes every second in every cell of our body. We think we're busy. Those cells are super busy. Light has been shown to affect us in all sorts of physical ways. Blue light will slow the autonomic nervous system, our pulse, our blood pressure. Red will excite it, increase our respiratory rate. Orange has been shown to increase appetite and is used in kitchen decor in bars and restaurants. So this is the world of color in which we live, our part of the light spectrum. Now, even more basic in our cells is our DNA. Our DNA are spirals coiled in our cell. In every contraction of DNA, a photon of light is emitted. Photons or quanta of that light are the smallest particle of light. Every contraction, a quanta of light is emitted, actually millions per second, that transport up to 4 megabytes of information out into the world, telling the world who we are and giving us information back about the world. For instance, we meet someone, we know we can trust them, or we don't trust them. What is that intuition? Our hearts, long known to be the center of our being, radiate 5,000 times more magnetic energy than that of the brain. All around us, they radiate light. Scientists call it the biofield. 10 feet around us, it circulates magnetic energy out. Now, this is 1,000 times less intense than normal light or color, which is why we can't pick it up with the eye so easily. But it's there, and it's very measurable. This truly is the buffer between us and the rest of the world. When we say people are in our space. Also, when we go to the top of a mountain and we can feel the peace and the calm, or we say we could cut the energy with a knife at a party. This is our sensory antennae, the apparatus that tells us about the world and tells the world about us. Now, we all want more energy in life, and we're standing on a huge amount of energy. This planet has a rotating molten core, and it's iron. That's a dynamo. The Earth radiates electromagnetic energy all round. It's called the magnetosphere. And this part of our atmosphere is our barrier of this fragile planet between us and cosmic radiation. It's also essential in, for example, the health of astronauts. Now, this information is all very interesting, but as a doctor, I like to make people feel better. So a lot of my work is traveling, doing workshops and lectures in how to apply this to our lives, how to connect to this light, to access our own joy and abundance. For instance, when a mother sees her child trapped under the car, I think you've all heard the story, and in that instant she rushes up and she manages to lift the child off, lift the car off the child. How does she do that? How does she access that energy? She didn't think about it. She couldn't have done it earlier or later, however much she trained at the gym, but in that instant she accessed the energy. This is what I'm talking about, accessing our inner resources. Because in difficult times, we need to be all that we are, and we need ways of connecting to those inner resources, which are huge. Now, indigenous man knew how to do this, and the yoga, tai chi, qigong we're seeing nowadays so popular in Western society is the tip of the iceberg. Can we move that slide back, please? Thanks. Without our benefits of modern medicine or technology, ancient man had to use all that he had, which was just his physical body and his senses, in order to work out ways of connecting to those energies of nature. This dynamo beneath our feet and the heart beating in our chest. Every single second, every heartbeat, is enough energy to light a small light bulb, 70 a minute, 100,000 odd a day. That's a huge amount of energy if we know how to connect to it. And it's inside all of us. I've talked about the energy of the earth, but we're also bathed in this huge energy of the sun. And we know already how the sun affects with the solar flares, it affects our satellites, affects astronauts. It can cut off the electricity of towns for hours, and it's done so. So right now, as I promised you an experience of this light and an example of how to do it, I'm going to give you an experience of the light that doesn't actually involve movement. So as Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. For instance, when I think a scary or a stressful thought, it's instantly translated into my body, and my pulse and blood pressure raise. So, in fact, thoughts do cause reality, for our bodies anyway, and that's all that counts to us. Thoughts and emotions cause reality. So right now, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Please close your eyes and go with me in this little visualization. We can all imagine we're in a shower or a waterfall. This is a waterfall of light, and it's going to cleanse your whole body. It's pouring down over your shoulders, and because it's light, it's going through your body also. It's scintillating, it's shimmering, it's sparkling and pure and clean, and it's cleansing and refreshing and relaxing. It's pouring down over your head, and it's going down into the earth. Every DNA, cell, and organ in your body is absorbing the light frequency that it needs in order to be perfect. At the same time, you're rejuvenating and refreshing. Be in the light and be the light. Just for a second, give your body this rest. And take a deep breath and open your eyes and come back to the room. Some of you may notice that you feel warmth in your body or that you feel relaxed in your body. Now, the last famous person to make light his absolute reference point was Einstein, with his photoelectric theory and his theory of relativity. A lot of time has passed since then, and I think it's about time we had another quantum leap in our thinking. Today I've explained to you the interconnectedness, the light emitted from our DNA, the biofield from our hearts, the magnetosphere from the earth, and the magnetic energy from the sun. It's true that we live and swim in a sea of light, which also controls everything in our body, from our brain waves, which are now known to be gamma waves, to every enzyme system in our body. So let's use this, which we can. There are tools that we can all use to access this Gnosis. Thank you.